This is the United Uprising channel. Welcome to today's show. Whether you do or you don't like to watch the videos that I do on music videos or things in pop culture, I highly recommend you watch this one because it is so unbelievable. It's actually topped my expectations. This newest Lil Nas X blasphemy video, it's more than just blasphemy. Okay, and I'll tell you a little hint, a little spoiler alert as I break down the video for you. We actually get into the video having the Ark of Baphomet. Okay, the Ark of Baphomet. And Baphomet flooding the earth, in a sense, because that's what this is really about in this inverted satanic culture that we're living in. So I'm going to break down this video right now for you. And if you didn't see, I actually covered, before this video came out, I did a video talking about just the picture that he put up of Lil Nas X himself on a crucifix, being crucified. Okay, and people out there weren't even in an uproar about that. I didn't even know that a music video was to come. I thought it was just going to be one of those songs that comes out where they have a picture and they just play the song. But we got a music video here, and this could be his most blasphemous. In my opinion, it's one of the most wicked videos I've seen in a long time, maybe the most ever. So let's break down the entire video. So let me just give you the whole step-by-step here. I go over to see, after actually covering it, knowing that the single was going to drop, to see what the lyrics were of the song, but I'm not even going to get into the lyrics of the song. I go over and I see on his page, let's start with this, Lil Nas X's, I don't know if this is new or not, but this is how in our faces this stuff is. Lil Nas X's avatar, right? So that's like his channel logo. You know how mine is the pyramid burning with a pitchfork, or in this case, a knife going through it? For people out there that are new to it who are like, why do you use the symbol? It's destroying the symbol. It's burning, crying, literally has a knife through the eyeball. So, that's what my avatar logo means. But Lil Nas X, not even putting his face out there so people know it's his channel, he puts an eyeball as his logo. It's only because he's a failed optometrist. He loves eyes, just like all of these wicked people in Hollywood. They just are fascinated with eyeballs. Right? They have eyeball fetishes, but not in the way, of like looking at someone saying, wow, they have really beautiful eyes. I just love one eye. Just one. Of course, that's the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. They tell you these things through signs and symbols. They constantly reveal themselves. So Lil Nas X, J. Christ is the name of the song, as I covered. And of course, the video starts off with a staircase. This is their Freemasonic staircase. Of course, Christians will see in the back, it's a staircase to heaven. It's stairway to heaven, right? Well, wait till you see the actual gate that they're climbing up to, or should I say the Tower of Babel. But it starts with that. You see the staircase. And then he depicts what are supposed to be celebrities. For anyone out there that wasn't able to figure that out, it's pretty obvious. All of these wicked celebrities who are self-righteous on this earth, all heading up the ladder. From Kanye West, it's supposed to be Kanye. Even Michael Robinson, Michelle Obama getting on board the ship with Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama as they board, right? Even heading up the staircase to heaven. And of course, then you see this big tower, which looks a lot like the Tower of Babel, if you ask me. And of course, look at the pearly gates. Let's start there, right? As they're up the pearly gates, what is that? You see it, that's Baphomet, okay? This is a symbol of Baphomet. That's what that symbol is. You see the horns, and it goes down to the ears, and that's the Baphomet. So heading to heaven, really Baphomet's heaven. And what do we see up there? Well, we see Lil Nas X, of course, with his long fingernails, because this is your modern male, ladies out there. I feel awful for the women out there. This is your modern day male. He has the Baphomet tattoo right on his palm. He has the word sexy on it. This is sexy. Oh, man. But anyway, not only that, of course, as you see some of the celebrities I pointed out earlier, you get Michael Jackson is walking around in this version of heaven, which is obviously clearly an inversion of heaven, because none of these people would get there. And by the way, you don't get there even if you're a nice person. Specifically, you ain't getting there if you're a celebrity, because we all know they worship the devil. But they put Michael Jackson in there as well. So all these creeps are up in heaven. And then they show you what's going on down in hell, and Lil Nas X is down in hell. And what's Lil Nas X doing? Well, he's cooking. He's cooking a meal, obviously, for all his fellow demons down there. What's he cooking? Oh, no big deal. It's just the flesh of human beings. No big deal. It just looks like a bunch of arms and legs. And, it's just normal. They show us this stuff all the time, right? I mean, I just covered this and got a strike for bullying Doja Cat right? And she was cooking up some human flesh as well, because they're always cooking up human flesh, because that's what they feast off of. So in hell, of course, we have the burning of humans, the eating of humans. Why wouldn't we? Then we get Little Nas playing some type of basketball. It's like a Roman Coliseum theme with Lucifer, right? He's going one-on-one with Lucifer, and Lucifer and him are standing there, and we see his shoes. And of course, these are the shoes that I covered over the years. Little Nas X's shoes, if you're not familiar, have the pentagram, have the Baphomet symbol on it. I don't know if this is his new actual logo. It wouldn't surprise me. People would be so stupid. They'd be like, that doesn't mean Baphomet, it means Little Nas X. I mean, at this point, the people will believe whatever they hear, and they will defend their false idols to the death. So y'all see Luke 10:18 on there, the verse from the Bible that talks about Lucifer falling from heaven. The specific verse is, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. That's the verse. That's why we see these celebrities and these musicians specifically using lightning bolts in their logos. So he's wearing that. Then we got Little Nas X crucified upside down. So now we just start heading towards the massive blasphemy. So, crucified upside down. Of course, we know Peter was crucified upside down. The inversion of the cross. So they're mocking you right to your face, also wearing the crown of thorns. Then he's depicted upright and everybody's screaming as if he's the Messiah and the Christ, which is exactly what these false idols believe that they are. And of course, there'll be Christians who say, I don't worship Little Nas X. And I've already gotten comments, and I've seen people commenting that they know Christians who have said exactly what I've said in my videos about how Christians will say, who are you to judge? That's what they always like to say, right? Even though they don't know, a tree, you'll know a tree by its fruits. They don't know those verses because they offend the idols, because they love the idols. And then they say, I don't worship these idols. And of course they do. So mocking the crucifixion right in front of us. Of course, if this was any other faith or depiction of any other religious figure, and of course, Christ isn't a religious figure. He's the King of Kings. He is the only true God. But if there was anyone else, it would be canceled. It would be blasted all over the place. The only thing, only religion you could the only thing you can mock when it comes to religion is Christianity. That's the only thing. It's not cancelable. Nobody goes in uproar about it. That's because this is a war between God and the devil and all these other deities or demons that these people end up worshiping, like Buddha, etc. So then they cut to him just wearing some of his demonic garb, referencing the Met Gala, which I've covered over the years. And the next part, this is where it's really important to note, okay? So this just shows you also how fake the news is. Okay, so this video came out on 1:11 midnight, sometime around there. So it came out right now as you're watching this, right? So you have a woman sitting on the sofa watching the propaganda news. What do you see on the TV? Global flood warning, which is about to get into the whole thing with the Ark of Baphomet. But take note here, the global flood warning, right? Look at the picture on the screen. Does this picture look familiar? Okay, this music video just came out. This picture is from the mainstream media, specifically on the cover of CNN. Luckily, I had a screenshot grab because I was going to do a video about it, but I never got around to it because there's so much content to do every day. I don't have enough time. But this is a headline from CNN. More monster waves to slam California coast. Powerful storms in the Pacific are driving towering waves into the coastline, triggering flooding and pushing a significant risk to people and structures. And of course, they were talking about this like, comparing it to global warming. So they have that right there, global flood warning with their global warming, propaganda that they have to put in there. But how about the photo? How about the photo? Do you know how long it takes to make an actual music video? There's YouTubers who make videos. It takes them like 2 weeks to edit a video, etc. It takes them a while. I'm not saying it takes me 2 weeks, but, YouTubers who have like real production quality videos, etc. A music video takes a long time to make. They don't make movies and music videos in a week. This came out 2 weeks ago, not even. It was 2 weeks ago this past weekend. So it was probably about 12 days ago that article that I just showed you was out there. That's the same exact photograph on the screen from that CNN article. Are you going to tell me that they went back in and they re-edited just because they wanted that specific picture in there? Somebody was watching that in real time at home was like, oh my goodness, that picture is so crazy. Let's go back and re-edit the entire video because the video was done. It was in the can, okay? They don't finish a video and then go, we're going to release it in a couple of days. There's a whole process behind it. They got to go through it. They got to re-edit it, re-look at it, make sure, and then they have to have announce dates, all this other stuff, right, that goes into the process. So they clearly, so what I'm telling you is that this photo is a staged photo. Clearly, it's a stage photo. It's something that they produced in a Hollywood studio, right? Produced in Hollywood studio. All these people, and it does look fake. I mean, if that's what I was going to do the video on. Now we know they could do these things very easily, specifically on the coast. We know HARP and stuff. They can create weather modification, but they could really create these types of things, these mini like tsunamis that'll flood the coast. All they could do is do a shock out, a couple 100 yards out into the ocean, not even that far out. So they can do those things, so there's no doubt about that. But looks like a stage photo, right? All these people are just running, sprinting as the waves are behind them. And that's the exact photo that Lil Nas used in the video. So it clearly shows you it's a staged photo, that these pictures are taken well in advance. They're made in a Hollywood studio. That's what this tells us, right? Look at them side by side. It's a headline on CNN 2 weeks ago, and it's in a music video. What did he? He was just like, oh, I had this whole idea for a script about Baphomet's Ark, and then I saw this news clip. I mean, there's no time for them to do this. It's 2 weeks ago. So this is a pre-planned photograph. Doesn't surprise any of us who were obviously awake. So then we go into this, right? We go into him he's depicting Noah leading all the animals onto the boat. You could see the logo onto the boat because they're saying another flood is coming. Now, this is blasphemous in so many different ways, right? After that, obviously, God promised to never flood the earth again. Now, many times over, I've been up at night wishing that God would break that promise. I think a lot of us have thought that, right? Maybe God, did you mind flooding the earth one more time of all this wickedness? I mean, maybe some of us would even be willing to be in that flood just to get this, some of this filth, these reprobates off the earth. But God obviously promised he would never flood the earth again. Now, what are we seeing here depicted? This is not obviously Noah's Ark. This is Baphomet's Ark. It's a Baphomet's logo on it, right? So we get to the Ark. The Ark is out in the water. And, now we see all of these reprobates dancing. I'll get back to the Ark in a minute. Well, you see all these reprobates dancing as the lightning's falling. Lucifer's fall, it's referencing. You see on the screen, it says, Lord, help me, for I am at war, right? And we are at war. We're at spiritual war, and the majority of our society doesn't even know it. And these are the people we're at war with. These influencers and demons are the ones who have destroyed the morals in our society. They've destroyed the minds of the masses because they're living in an altered reality that these people are fabricating and creating through magic, flat out magic, right? So then what's interesting is over on the sign here, you'll see it says Lithium Springs, right? Now, somebody will probably look it up and be like, hey, where's Lil Nas? Is that where he's born? Right? Because he's born in Lithia, Georgia. So it has nothing to do with that, right? Lithium Springs. So you say to yourself, okay, Lithium Springs. Well, we know lithium. There's two meanings, in my opinion, of this. You have lithium batteries, which the whole earth is going to run on. The enslaved system will run on lithium. And we all remember from The Matrix, the infamous scene, a lot of people never understood it, with the battery. I've broken it down before, how they're going to turn you into that. Remember, he says in The Matrix, holds the battery up, to turn you into this, right? This transhumanism, right? Turning human beings into batteries. This is everything that's going on right now, right? But what's interesting to note, not just the word lithium springs. You may have heard of lithium springs, hot springs. Do you know what lithium springs smell like? You can look it up for yourself. They smell like sulfide, which is sulfur, okay? So most of you out there are familiar with the fact that these demons, right, you could smell them. They smell like sulfur. Remember some of the times in the past I've covered Obama talking about, I smell like sulfur, etc.
And I mean that literally, by the way. I was reading the other day, there's a guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently. He said, me and Hillary are demons. Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something? Now, I mean, come on, people. Democracy does not work if you just say stuff like that. And apparently there are people who believe that stuff.
Right? Well, the demons, these things, these non-human entities smell like sulfur. Okay? So there's a reference there to sulfur. And of course, you can look at Lil Nas X and know Lil Nas X is likely a demon walking the earth. So then we go back to the ship, right? And there's a couple things to note here. He's raising the flag of Baphomet, defying God up to the sky, right? So the Baphomet flag is flying up right as the sun is, piercing through the clouds. That's supposed to depict God. And they're depicting themselves, giving the middle finger to God and saying that they're actually the ones now flooding the earth. And in a sense, That's part of the tone of this, the messaging of this, right? Of him flooding the earth. Because you might say, what are they, just mocking flooding the earth? Well, God flooded the earth, right? To rid the earth of the wickedness on the earth, right? We could all agree on that? Okay. So they're depicting here exactly what's going on now. They're trying to rid the earth of us. They're trying to rid the earth of Christianity. They're trying to rid the earth of human beings, God's creation. And they're doing it in a lot of different ways, right? We know the sixth mass extinction is underway that they openly talk about. The only thing that people don't realize is that they're the ones who are extincting humans, whether it's them, tricking them into poisoning themselves, right? Or all other things they're doing to us with geoengineering from the skies, hitting us with weaponized weather, right? So they're pretty much saying, this is what they're referencing. This is what Little Nas X and his handlers are referencing. God wants flood the earth to rid the earth of people like Little Nas X, reprobates, right? That's what the flood was. It was literally to rid the earth of Little Nas X, okay? And all these other demons in Hollywood. And, not just them, but all the people who are behaving as in the days of Noah, right? And they're doing it out in the open now. So God rid the earth of those things, and now those things are back. And they're saying, we're going to rid the earth, the Baphomet Ark. We're going to rid the earth of your creation, of your people. And it goes on to say at the end, they have the audacity to mock the Bible. Because, of course, all it takes, when we talk about how easy it is to deceive Christians, all it takes, literally, is for one of these Satanists to put up a verse from the Bible. And they're like, oh, they put up a verse from the Bible, so they must be Christian, right? They don't realize that they read the Bible and they invert the Bible. So Little Nas X puts up 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come, right? And it's a mockery of Scripture. He's not sitting here going, oh, anyone is Christ is a new creation. They're talking about ridding the earth of God's creation. And they're the new creation because these are a new hybrid race of human beings, that their genetic codes are being altered. And a lot of people out there's genetic codes are already altered and they don't even realize it, right? So it's a new creation. So they put this out there. And how many Christians actually see this? And they're like, Little Nas X even put a Bible verse in there. I guarantee there'll be some that are like, Mr. Unite Uprising, you didn't put a Bible verse. I do. I don't do it. I do it when I feel led to do it in my videos. But anyway, that's all it takes to trick these Christians, is to put a verse in, and they'll go, he's a Christian, right? They ignore all this stuff about wolves and sheep's clothing. They ignore all the verses that there'll be those who say they know me and do not, right? And this couldn't be more disrespectful or blasphemous to a Christian, and there's literally Christians who will defend it because this ties into the Communist Manifesto with how they've weakened down people. They've obviously weakened down Christians through what I've talked about in the past, the evangelical movement. It was designed to weaken Christians, not only to create a stereotype of Christians. You're supposed to be cookie cutter. You're supposed to sound a certain way. How many people have you heard who rip into me? They're like, he doesn't sound Christian. Oh, I didn't know that there was a way you're supposed to sound. Oh, that would be mind control. Oh, because I don't sound like the guys on TV in a suit, right? Last I checked, I didn't see Peter wearing a suit. Did you? Did you see any of the disciples wearing suits? Oh, well, suits didn't exist. But, oh, okay. And I didn't read scripture where they were walking around giving everyone hugs and singing Kumbaya. Last I checked, John the Baptist wasn't too thrilled about what was going on. And neither were the disciples. But in modern day Christianity, they want you to look towards a certain Christianity because that Christianity will herd you. People like me, and I don't claim to be a church or a pastor or anything like that. I'm just a guy who loves God, who follows our King of Kings, who is saved by the blood of Jesus Christ, who repents daily, like every Christian should do. That's who I am, okay? Just a guy recording videos, having trouble getting them uploaded because I'm not allowed to speak, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and sound the way that they tell me to sound. They want you to sound a certain way. They want you to act a certain way because they know for lots of reasons it waters down the church. It makes Christians feel more comfortable going to lukewarm Christianity. It doesn't mean everyone who speaks softly isn't a real Christian. I'm not saying that, okay? What I'm saying is that they've created a shell in people's minds of what the church is supposed to sound like. And all churches would say, oh, well, Little Nas X is saved because he says he's saved. And they'd see this video and they'd be like, well, it's just art, right? And they go on and on and on. They defend these people. These are the people responsible for everything wrong in the world. Everyone looks at just the politicians. These are the ones who are molding the minds of the youth out there with their poison that they put out on a daily basis. So Little Nas X can get away with this stuff, of course, because you're allowed to mock God. You're allowed to make a Baphomet ark. You're allowed to say, we're going to flood the earth again, but we're going to do it our way. We're going to use HAARP to flood the earth. We're going to use weather modification to flood the earth and then rid the earth. Think about some of the stuff I've been saying about, herding people into honeypots, right? Well, if you get all Christian conservatives in specific states, then you hit it with HAARP, could flood them out, couldn't you? Kill them off with a big flood, right? Then you could blame God and say, well, God promised not to flood the earth again. I mean, all sorts of things they could do here. These things are wicked things. They're not human that walk among us. And it's bullying, so I have to be careful what I say. I mean, it's already hurt all the work that I've done, how much they've taken my work away, taken channels away. I see people tweeting and saying, like, where is that guy? They got to him, or they got rid of him, or, and that's how they're defeating me, is by that. So I'm trying to work as hard as I can to get all this type of content back out to everybody out there, because these people are cowards. The devil is a coward, and so are his minions. They present themselves as bad and tough. They're weak and frail. They're weak and frail, and they want Christians to be weak and frail. People like us could steamroll over these Satanists, okay? Their influential power only exists because the devil's given it to them, and they're doing his bidding. They have no talent, okay? They have no talent, and they're frail, weak, pathetic beings. We all need to stick together as far as fighting against all the censorship and everything else they're trying to do. And I hope, this channel in some way has given other people out there, I don't want to be, or say something like inspiration, but I hope it's given people out there a backbone, a backbone so that they're not afraid to fight back. They're not afraid to get censored and keep fighting. And when they say they're going to cancel you, you just go, that's not possible. I'll just keep coming back. Exactly. That's what we all should be doing. So just to recap here, Little Nas X with his all-seeing eye logo now, he goes on to invite all the wicked on, telling us all the wicked are heading to heaven. Kanye, the Sortoro family, Obama's, Michael Jackson, the gates of heaven supposedly have the Baphomet, which tells you it's inverted. Down in hell, he goes to cook up some humans and play one-on-one in basketball with Lucifer as he's on an upside-down cross, as they show us the image of the global flood warming that was right off of Warning, which was right off of CNN, the photograph from CNN 2 weeks ago. And you're going to tell me, you're going to sit here, you're going to tell me that this isn't staged? You're going to say that they went in and edited it, that they saw that clip and were like, it's so perfect, let's go in and read it. Oh, absolutely. It's staged. The news is staged, just like the music videos. It's scripted. Right? And then, of course, we have his ark, the Ark of Baphomet, flooding the earth again as they put scripture in, mocking all Christians. Unbelievable. One of the most ridiculous videos I have ever seen. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you, as always, and your families.